Hi, I'm Olivia,
Hi, I'm Maggie.
and this is Girls Talk Film. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
We are actually filming this on Valentine's Day, and we decided to celebrate, a day of romance by talking about breakup movies.
Yeah, we're real romantics over here, just so in love.
Have you ever been through like a really bad breakup or a really good breakup?
Yeah, both. I have had the worst of breakups, and I actually, not so recently, but my last breakup was actually a very amicable one, which was very nice. So yes, I have seen the best and the worst of them, but I feel like it's like a canon event for a woman to have a really bad breakup. You know what I mean?
I've never had a really bad breakup.
I was just about to ask you if you had bad breakup.
I've had sad breakups. I haven't had like a really, really devastating one where I've just been a wreck or that it's ended in like a screaming fight or anything like that.
Okay, I technically, I guess, haven't had that either. I've had the like breaking up and then it's like the person's still in your life.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, I guess I've never had a breakup where I'm like crying and eating cookie dough like they
Bridget
see in the
Jones.
movie.
Yeah.
No, I've never had that experience yet.
Honestly, in my personal experience, I found friend breakups a lot more painful and a lot more hard to shake than a romantic breakup. I mean, who knows what the future holds?
I know.
But in my experience, I've always been more like truly devastated by a friendship ending than I have ever been with a romantic relationship ending. I've had my ego really hurt when a romantic relationship has ended, but I actually don't know if I've ever really experienced like true romantic heartbreak.
Yeah, I guess I'm the same. I have had a few friend breakups that have been really sad, but I don't know. I'm kind of at this phase right now where I'm interested in like kind of taking my heart and throwing it under buses just to see what it'll look like. So I guess I'm kind of curious, like just as having a life experience to have that super intense heartbreak, but I guess we'll see what the future holds.
I guess we will. Maybe don't speak it into existence.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're kind of manifesting, but I think we felt that there was no better way to kick off Valentine's Day than to talk about the three movies that we're talking about today.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Marriage Story, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
We just wanted to humble all the couples out there and just remind you guys that the end is very real.
And it is near.
Yeah.
No, we don't care if you're happily in a relationship.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, no, truly, we could not care less.
I feel like we sound so bitter.
I that was the joke. That's what I was going for, Maggie.
Sorry.
Never mind.
I'll cut it.
So we are going to kick things off this week with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It is a sci-fi drama directed by Michael Gondry and written by Charlie Kaufman. It was distributed by Focus Features and received a wide theatrical release in March 2004. This is a movie that I have always had very mixed feelings about, and I know that is not the popular opinion.
This is a lot of quirky people's favorite movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have had so many men lecture me about why this movie is incredible and like that I just don't get it. Listen, I get it. And I can even acknowledge objectively that it's a pretty great film. The screenplay is brilliant. I thought the acting was great. I loved a lot of the weird choices they made. Mm-hmm. I don't know. For some reason, I have always found it really, really hard to connect with. It's one of those things that I know I should love it, and I can see that it's great, but I just can't connect to it. I don't know why.
I feel that way with a lot of movies. I don't think you're in the wrong for feeling that way. I think I'm a little bit more into this movie than you are. I also kind of have. I said to you, I was like, I think it's maybe the contrarian in me that I don't want to like this movie because it's so many people's like favorite movie, especially a lot of film people.
Yeah.
But I think I lean more towards it because I haven't seen all of Charlie Kaufman's work, but some of it I really don't understand, like just too much for me. Mm-hmm. And this one I very much understand. So
this
maybe
is probably his most.
it's like his safest movie.
100%. This is the intro to Charlie Kaufman movie.
Yeah.
And
I
like some of his weirder stuff a little more, honestly. I
like
really love Synecdoche, New York. I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It's this one and Being John Malkovich that I'm like, I don't know. They're just not for me. And I can't really tell you why.
I'm like you. I think it's a well-acted movie. I think it's really creative, really clever. The script is amazing. I love how low budget it feels and how low budget it looks. I always love a movie that can do weird and creative things with a smaller budget and like really fun, practical ways.
Jim Carrey said apparently that the set was chaotic.
Yeah. I could see. Yeah.
He described a very indie vibe on the set. And I think a lot of people running around and deciding to, you know what, actually the weather's like this today. Maybe we should shoot this other scene instead of the one that we prepared to shoot.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he said it wasn't a good experience, but he said it was very chaotic.
See, I love things like that.
Me too.
But I'm kind of like you. There's something that holds me back from really loving this movie. I still very much enjoy it, but I don't even know. I'm really not sure what it is, but I'm excited to get into it.
Me too. Kind of an important thing to know about this movie is that it is mostly told in reverse chronological order. It has a circular narrative. Also, spoilers. We do spoilers. You're about to get the absolute shit spoiled out of this movie for you. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back. And that goes for all of the movies we're talking about. It's a circular narrative, similar to Pulp Fiction. It's told out of order. So we open on our protagonist, Joel Barish, who's played by Jim Carrey, waking up alone on Valentine's Day. He impulsively decides to call in sick to work, and he takes the train to Montauk. He goes to the beach. He journals. Through voiceover, we hear that he hasn't journaled in years, and all of a sudden he's deciding to. There's something a little odd about what's going on here.
He also, again, doesn't really understand what's bringing him to Montauk. He just impulsively decides to go, and he even questions why he decided to skip work that day and get on this random train. He
spots this blue-haired woman on the beach, and then later she ends up being on his returning train, and this is Clementine. She is played by Kate Winslet. They start to have a conversation, and she kind of makes Joel a little uncomfortable. She's weird.
She's very manic.
She's very aggressive.
Yeah.
Like she comes up and sits next to him and
and he immediately gets all chummy with him and starts kind of asking him personal questions. Yeah. And Joel is the complete opposite. He's super shy and anxious and quiet.
Yes. So yeah, she makes him a little wary, but there's also something that he's kind of drawn to about her. And he decides to offer her a ride home from the station once they get back to New York, and they end up spending the weekend together, and kind of a budding romance ensues.
I really love Jim Carrey in a serious role. I don't know what he's up to nowadays. I know
he's doing those Sonic movies. He keeps doing them.
Okay, I knew he kind of went through this I don't know if it was a publicity stunt or just kind of this artist protest. Remember when he was doing those I'm not Jim Carrey things?
Yeah.
I don't really know what that was about, but I do love him in a serious role.
He's so talented.
Yeah, and I think everyone loves The Truman Show. I love that movie too. I think this is a better performance. I just think he really fits this kind of guy so well.
And have we ever really seen him play an everyman? Not really.
Maybe there's a movie out there that I just can't recall, but again, this quiet, shy, it didn't feel forced at all. It felt so natural.
It's also a little out of type for Kate Winslet as well.
Well, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I think she's so great in this movie.
She's really good.
She's just an actress that I think is really underrated, but I think she is such a breath of fresh air as opposed to someone who I think could have been a more typical casting in this role.
100%.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see her kind of gritty and down to earth. I feel like she is always in some sort of a period costume.
Yes.
And playing someone very, maybe not hoity-toity, but
proper.
Like Clementine is so messy, and
She is.
She like genuinely probably has some mental health issues.
She's like undiagnosed bipolar. So abruptly, we cut back to a few months earlier. We learn that Joel and Clementine were actually in a long-term relationship. And after a big fight, Clementine underwent a procedure with a medical company called Lacuna Incorporated to have all of her memories of Joel erased. Such a fun idea.
Right?
Like for a movie.
Apparently, this movie stemmed from a conversation that the director was having with a friend. And the friend had just gone through a breakup and was saying, oh my God, if I want to erase him from my life, like I want to just completely get rid of all of my memories with him. And that is what sparked the idea. And then he connected with Charlie Kaufman, who wrote the script.
Yeah,
but
just
yeah,
so cool.
It is a great idea. It's a great premise.
When Joel discovers that Clementine has erased him out of her mind, he decides to undergo the same procedure.
The Lacuna employees do their work on Joel's brain while he's sleeping in his apartment, and with the goal of that he'll wake up and then just have no memory of the procedure or of Clementine. One employee, whose name is Patrick, he's played by Elijah Wood, leaves to see Clementine. And ever since her procedure, he's been using Clementine's memories of Joel as a guide to learn how to seduce her.
So scummy.
So scummy.
He also says he stole a pair of her underwear from her
gross.
apartment. Like, yeah, he's just kind of like the worst kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. And he's so like, there is something so skeevy about how Elijah Wood plays him.
And it's so realistic too.
Mm-hmm.
Like how he's not like this villain. He's just kind of like a creep in the most like harmless looking way.
Yes, he's an everyday creep.
Yeah.
And while the procedure runs on Joel's brain, the technician, whose name's Stan, he's played by Mark Ruffalo, and his secretary named Mary, played by Kirsten Dunst, are literally just like hanging out in Joel's room. They do drugs, they party, they hook up.
Yeah, it's very funny. They're like dancing in their underwear like over his unconscious body at one point, which I did find very funny.
Me too. I really enjoy that the film does not care at all about the science of like how this procedure
barely
is
explain
done.
it. Yeah,
they barely explain it. Like it's so unimportant. It's not what the movie's about. And Kaufman kind of does the same thing in Being John Malkovich. I don't know. It's an interesting choice. It's fun to watch a sci-fi that's completely unmoved by the sci-fi aspect of it.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean, where it's like I kind of love the low budget feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't try to do these like crazy special effects with the mind and
and
with
like
the mapping of
if
the brain.
I were to write this concept into a film, I definitely would go in a more traditional direction. It would be all about, okay, how does this work?
Yeah.
Like, what are the logistics of this? I like that it's like this shady medical company.
Yeah.
That's unprofessional and we don't really know how it works. We just know that it does.
I also love the thing on his head looks like a strainer.
Yeah.
Like it's like so like it's just so cheap looking, but not in a very artificial way, in a very wholesome way.
Yeah.
So as the procedure is going on, Joel re-experiences his memories with Clementine in reverse chronological order as they're being erased, starting with their last fight. When he starts to relive earlier, happier memories, he realizes that he doesn't want to forget her. So he's kind of aware that he's in his own mind.
Yeah.
And he's realizing like that these are the memories that are being taken away from him.
And we are, as an audience, at this point in Joel's mind.
Yes, we also don't really know what their relationship has been like because we cut from them meeting on the beach to then realizing that they've been in a relationship. So we have no idea kind of what their long-term relationship that he's erasing has been like.
Yeah. So we get important context about both of them.
His mental projection of Clementine suggests that he should hide her in memories that don't involve her. This halts the procedure, but Stan calls his boss, Howard, who arrives and restarts it. And Howard's like the head doctor who kind of like created this practice. When Joel arrives at his last remaining memory of Clementine, the day they first met on the beach in Montauk, this is a separate time from the beginning of the film. Mm-hmm. That's important to note. The memory starts to crumble around them. In his mind, Clementine tells Joel to meet her in Montauk. So,
And this is around kind of when we or at least myself as a viewer, start to put the pieces together of what's going on here.
This whole segment really is like a good third of the movie going through all the memories. This is like kind of where the quirky people love this movie, because there's a lot of very fun cinematography.
Yeah, when everything's huge around him.
Yes,
when
like
he's in a
going through
childhood
his
memory.
memories. Yeah, and even just like that shot of them waking up on the beach, and everything's blue around them.
It's a
very,
great shot.
Yeah, it's very pretty. I think this movie is very visually nice.
Yeah.
And
I like all the handheld shots. Like, so much of it is filmed with handheld cameras.
Yeah, and I like the quirky aspects of them going through the memories, but I enjoy the actual breakdown of the plot and, like you said, the circular timeline more so than I enjoy kind of them in the, you know, superhero cape and cowgirl outfit.
Yeah.
That I think kind of attracts people into this. Maybe I'm just being a hater. I don't know.
I think you're just being a hater.
I am, yeah.
Mary, the secretary, is a lot younger than her boss. And there's this kind of, I don't know, she's always very eager to impress him in some way.
And she's always talking about him to others in a very like flattering light.
Yeah. She starts to recite a verse from the poem Eloisa to Abelard, which is also where the phrase eternal sunshine of the spotless mind is from.
Oh.
And she tells Howard that she's in love with him. They kiss, but Howard's wife arrives and sees them through the window. Absolutely enraged, and reasonably enraged. She tells Mary that Mary and Howard have actually previously had an affair, and Mary had her memories of it erased. And Mary is like very traumatized by learning that and very freaked out by learning that. She decides to steal the Lacuna records of everyone who's gotten their memories erased and mails them all to the different patients, including Joel and Clementine.
I thought this was actually a pretty interesting plot point, twist, whatever you want to call it, because we spent a lot of time, I guess not too much time, but we do spend more time than I anticipated with like the Mary character and Stan's character. Yeah. And at first I was kind of like, okay, why am I supposed to care about them? Like, I don't really know what this is adding. And then when that scene happened, I was like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of interesting. And the thought that I also love the wife's reaction where she's like, don't be a monster, like tell her.
Yeah.
Like, because poor Mary is like, it's my fault, and meanwhile Howard does have his memories and is like kind of allowing this to happen again when Mary is completely in the dark about it. You know what I mean? It just left a lot more to the conversation.
Agreed. I think it's woven in well with the main plot.
Yeah.
I usually don't love a subplot that's all about side characters, or like when a film kind of goes in a different direction for a subplot. I thought it worked really well here.
Yeah, I did too. So now we're back at the beginning. Joel wakes up on Valentine's Day with his memories of Clementine erased. He calls in sick to work, takes the train to Montauk, sees Clementine on the beach. They meet, spend the weekend together, like we said, when Joel and Clementine then receive their records from Mary.
And they're basically strangers to each other now. They have no memory of each other.
They listen to the tapes of them basically like explaining why they want to get this procedure done, which is basically them just shitting on each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's them at their most hateful point. Yeah. Of them both deciding to do this.
Yeah, so they discover their history of their relationship. And the film ends actually on this very optimistic note where Clementine kind of leaves to be like, okay, well, clearly we are doomed. Like, we shouldn't even try. And Joel kind of has this thing where he's like, well, but we kind of like were brought back together. So why not give it a try? And they end with deciding to have another go at their relationship, which I like that ending.
I love that ending. I think that, I mean, I told you before we started filming, I think that really speaks to the beauty to be found in the human experience, that even though you might know for certain that something might fail, but why not try?
Yeah.
And I think that to being like looking at it through a 2026 lens, it's so much easier now than it ever has been to kind of opt out of living, like to hole up wherever you live with your screens and your bad feelings about the world and sit and simmer and live vicariously. And I think that this film has such a beautiful message about how important it is to have experience.
Well, sorry to cut you off, but
You're not.
I think that's kind of what I meant earlier about like taking my heart and throwing it under buses, because I feel like those are things, you know, and Joel and Clementine's whole thing is so beautiful in a way, because it's like, yeah, we might be doomed, and yeah, this might lead to heartbreak, but like that is very much what being human is. So like, yes, heartbreak is a part of being human. It's also like a really important emotion and feeling. Like it's like you said, why opt out of feeling that way? So what, we can just be numb? It's important to experience sadness. It's important to experience anger and heartbreak and grief. And I think that
like, that literally is what makes us human. Like that is the beauty of being human.
Yeah, in
the
way that
all of those
feeling
things.
love and happiness and comfort with someone you love, like they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I also love the idea of just like people being fated. Like I love the red string
Determinism.
theory.
Yeah.
I just find that so romantic. I completely believe in soulmates.
Wait, so you're a real determinist. Like you believe in fate.
In the way, I don't know if I necessarily believe in it for our everyday lives, but it makes me very hopeful that there is someone's person out there.
Yeah.
So I choose to believe in it.
That's
I don't
very nice.
necessarily have a concrete feeling of it, but again, I do believe that when people get together, whether they end up together forever or not, it's part of that person's journey in life.
I agree. No, it took me kind of a long time to come to terms with the fact that we are our experiences, the good and the bad. I don't know. I mean, obviously, just growing up, you have moments that you're embarrassed about, things that you wish you never did.
Right.
And
people you wish you never met.
Oh, 100%. And you can waste so much time, or I can waste so much time sitting around and regretting things I've said or done, or people I've met and people I've kept in my life, maybe when I shouldn't have kept them in my life, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I am who I am because I've had those life experiences.
Exactly.
And I would probably be a different person if I didn't. And then it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to change who I am right now. I don't know. It's very interesting. The film did bring up a lot of thoughts for me.
Yeah.
I also think that the concept of eternal sunshine of the spotless mind is an interesting concept. Like, can you only love something when it's new? Can you only love something when it's spotless and untainted by memory or by bad experience? Like, and then when is the point when it becomes tainted? Like when it's not new anymore?
Yeah, I that's why a big reason why I actually enjoy this movie for the majority of the part is because it does kind of lead me reflecting on all these existential kind of life questions, especially with the whole determinism thing. Like, again, I'm not comfortable, I guess, committing to being like, yes, I believe in fate, but I guess I do in a way. Like, I really believe that people, no matter who you meet or what you do, like, it is just part of the journey that you are on in life. Like, there's no accidental.
That's so interesting. Oh God, you make it sound so beautiful, and I really want to agree with you.
So then just do it.
I don't think I do, though. I don't think I can't believe in fate. I just don't.
Well, also sometimes like it scares me because then I'm like, oh shit, do I have no free choice? Like, am I just doomed to do what kind of my life is heading towards, or am I fated to do what my life is supposed to be?
Not to bring in another movie, but isn't Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia kind of the evil twin of this film?
Yes, exactly.
Everything is coincidental. Life is absurd.
Right.
Don't stake that kind of fate in anything, because everything can be a coincidence, or everything can be changed by something coincidental.
And that's why I like this movie and you like Magnolia
more. But no, I will say I did enjoy this movie. There's just something preventing me from loving it. It's a great film, and I'm not denying that it's a great film, and it really made me think, and I love a film that makes me think. But within the experience of watching it, I didn't feel that soul connection that I have felt and can feel with some great films.
I completely relate. I wrote in my notes, I go, it's pretty good, but it's not a movie I can watch over and over. Like, I just watched this movie like a few days ago. If you were like, let's watch this movie again tonight, I'd be like, I need like a 3-year break.
Yeah.
I can't watch it again. But I wrote clever, creative, well acted. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, but I completely agree. I've often found that I really enjoy talking about this movie, and I don't always, like, it's the actual experience of watching it.
It brings on a better conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm glad that it exists because I'm glad that these ideas were explored and that they were explored with such mastery. But yeah, I don't know. It's a me thing. It literally is just a me problem.
And that's okay.
It's a great film.
Again, like there are so many movies that I'm like, I understand it and I like it, but there's just something that I'm just not feeling personally. And that's okay.
So now on to a much lighter note.
Way different vibe. Way different vibe.
This is like, it's like eating caviar and then being like, I kind of want a McChicken.
Yeah, literally.
And like, I'll enjoy both, but there's one that I know I'm really eating something of quality. And the other one, it's like, I know I'm kind of eating something shitty.
Yeah. But do I like the taste of both? I don't know.
Arguably, yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, our next movie is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It was made in 2008. It is a comedy directed and written by Nicholas Stoller, and it was also co-written by Jason Segel. Nicholas Stoller, who's directing the very highly anticipated Kool-Aid movie.
Yes. Nicholas Stoller does such a great job playing himself in the studio on Apple TV. Cannot wait for season 2.
Oh my gosh. I didn't
Eagerly
realize that until you pointed it out. That's so funny.
When I was putting this together and looked online and saw that he was the guy that directed this, I got so happy.
You're like, oh my God, the Kool-Aid movie guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he is so funny in that show.
He's great.
Yeah.
And cool to see that he directed this. It was distributed by Universal Pictures and received a wide theatrical release in April 2008. So this was really kind of in the era of studio comedies when they were still being made like this.
Yeah, this is, I said to you, I was like, it's very of its time. Just the way it's shot, the comedy, the actors. I enjoyed this movie. I feel like that era of comedy just really isn't my brand of comedy.
That's fair.
Which is like,
but you like Superbad.
Yeah, some I like more than others. Like I'm into like movies like Superbad. I think Pineapple Express is fun. But then like other movies, like especially those Judd Apatow movies, like some just really.
This is a Judd Apatow produced film.
Yeah, I was like very right down the middle with this movie. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't find it super enjoyable. I'll get into my pros and cons with this movie later, but I overall thought it was fun. I didn't know Jason Segel wrote it, which is impressive. I can't say I've ever really considered him a leading man aside from the Muppet movie, which there's some nice foreshadowing in this movie.
There are some puppets in this film.
And also he sings the Muppet theme song in a like super quick, like blink and you'll miss it moment.
I don't even remember that.
It's like
I
him,
watched
like,
this 2
just
days
playing
ago.
the piano.
Yeah.
And I was literally like, oh my gosh.
I think I just don't know the Muppets that well. And I think that's why I didn't catch it.
See, I love the Muppets. So I was like, oh my God. And then Man or Muppet. Like I got too excited. Yeah, but I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I really like this film. I've seen it a bunch of times. It's one of those movies that every time I watch it, I'm always surprised by how much I enjoyed it because in my memory, it doesn't live on as like a really great film. But then when I watch it, I'm always pleasantly surprised. And this time was no exception. I enjoy this film. I think it's like a pretty strong comedy. Like most Judd Apatow movies or Judd Apatow involved movies, there are 20 minutes that probably could have been cut. Some scenes just go on a little too long.
Oh, yeah.
And then there are other scenes, like there's a dinner scene really late in the film that I wished had gone on longer.
Yes.
I loved that scene.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, and why aren't we like sitting in the awkwardness of it? I wanted more of that. And I felt like we kind of sped through it. And then there are other scenes that I'm like, you totally could have cut that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always kind of end up feeling that way about Apatow comedies.
I said to you, so I'll say it really quick before we get into the movie, but like I think the biggest problem I have with the comedy of this movie is that the main character and the two main leads aren't necessarily funny.
Yeah.
It's the side characters that just kind of pop up every once in a while that like absolutely just steal the scene for me.
You're right.
And I'm not a big fan of like main guy isn't funny, but he's just surrounded by funny, quirky characters.
Yeah.
I much prefer like when everyone's kind of like evenly distributing the comedy.
Agreed.
But there were a lot of moments where I was laughing. I just want to point that out.
All right, so let's jump in. The film opens on our protagonist, who's a composer. He composes a score for a television show. His name is Peter Bretter, and he's played by Jason Segel. And the film begins when he gets abruptly dumped by his girlfriend of 5 years, television actress Sarah Marshall, who is played by Kristen Bell. To get over her, he decides to take a vacation to Oahu, Hawaii. Kind of just like an I need to get away from everything.
Yeah, his stepbrother is like, you just need to like get out of your apartment, get out of things that remind you of her, and just like go take a vacation.
His stepbrother, who is played by Bill Hader, who is underutilized.
Oh, I love Bill Hader.
Love Bill Hader. He makes a meal out of every line. He should have been in more of it.
Yeah.
When Peter arrives at his resort, he unfortunately sees that Sarah, his recent ex and the cause of his like insane depression that he's fallen into, is actually staying at the resort with her new boyfriend, British rock star Aldous Snow, who is played by Russell Brand, who is unequivocally the best part of this film.
I have to say real quick, I have never liked Russell Brand aside from a very particular SNL skit. So I thought I was going to hate him in this movie, and I was so pleasantly surprised how much I liked him.
He is so perfectly cast for this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and you know, apparently they wrote the role as like this kind of intellectual British guy, and then Russell Brand, I guess, like read the script and was interested, and they rewrote the role for him.
Oh, I'm so glad because he kills it in this.
He is fantastic.
Yeah.
So after discovering this, the hotel concierge, Rachel Jansen, takes pity on Peter and decides to offer him a complimentary suite. And she's played by Mila Kunis, she's so beautiful.
She's a beautiful woman.
She's so beautiful. And it's really a shame that she's so boring in this movie.
Oh.
Because like every time they show her face, I'm like, oh my God.
One
how
of my
do you
notes
look like that?
My notes is literally Rachel has no character, and it's so unfortunate.
Her character is perfect looking woman is also perfect.
Perfect looking woman who's there to like help main character get out of his funk.
No, her entire personality is like helping him.
And like not necessarily cool girl, but she has one line in
She's
particular.
so cool girl. Are you
where
kidding?
I'm like, oh, she's not like other girls.
No, she's so cool girl. Please. I actually have a bit of a pet peeve. A lot of people consider Clementine from Eternal Sunshine. They kind of lump her in with the manic pixie dream girl thing.
When she's literally a deconstruction of that.
Literally, Clementine is not at all a manic pixie dream girl. I hate that she's lumped in with that. She's erratic and not in a charming way.
No, she literally is like to show what the reality is of having a manic pixie dream girlfriend.
Literally. And Mila Kunis's character in this film is the blueprint.
Yeah.
Any scene that was like supposed to be romantic with her and Peter, we kind of talked about this a little earlier,
Mm-hmm.
that for me those were the weakest points of the movie because I just found her so boring.
Yeah, it feels very out of nowhere. It feels very rushed to me. And also, I said to you, I was like, if the romance was better, I probably would like this movie a lot more. So Peter's heartbreak is aggravated by the constant awkward run-ins he has with Sarah and Aldous. But things improve when he begins spending more time with Rachel and developing feelings for her. While hanging out one night, Peter confesses to Rachel that he actually hates his day job of composing music for this television show and that his dream job is to write a Dracula puppet rock opera. I found both of these bits very funny. The television show that they star in, it's very like CSI. I thought that was very funny. It kind of comes up throughout the movie a lot, and I thought the puppet show was also a fun bit.
Thought it was great. Also, just a little fun fact that this idea came about in the film because Jason Segel actually did have this idea in real life, and did write these songs prior to making the film. The songs that are featured from the Dracula puppet musical are actually songs from an actual Dracula puppet musical that Jason Segel wanted to write.
I would be curious to see that full musical.
It looked dope.
It looked very
really
fun.
good.
Yeah.
So at a bar, Rachel volunteers Peter to sing a song from the opera and cheers him on as he performs the number. Again, because she's perfect. She just wants him to be happy, and she loves that he wants to do it. Like, she's just the coolest girl.
Yeah.
The next day, they go on a hike, and Rachel dares Peter to jump off a cliff into the ocean because she wants him to let go.
She just wants him to like live life and be so cool. Like, she's so cool.
Like that moment where she's like, oh, like we should jump. And he's like, are you really going to do it? Of course she's going to do it. Of course she's going to do it because that's just who she is. She's just a free spirit.
Cool. She's just a cool girl.
She's a free spirit. So they jump off a cliff and then they end up kissing in the water.
While this is all going on, Sarah's relationship with Aldous starts to kind of get a little shaky. This is exacerbated by the news that Sarah's television show has been canceled and that Aldous is about to go on this 18-month world tour with his band. At the same time, when Aldous and Peter run into each other while surfing one day, he lets it slip that he and Sarah actually began having sex a full year before she broke up with Peter. So she was cheating on him. This scene is great because we talked about this a little bit before, but like Aldous like really isn't that really not a bad guy.
No.
He's actually like kind of likable in this like really like hilarious way. And I love how Peter's like, man, you're kind of fucking cool. Yeah. Like, he can't even like really hate him.
No, I do. And he tries so hard to hate him.
You're right. I mean, he was like sleeping with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny. When Peter confronts Sarah about this affair that she was having, she reveals that she felt completely disconnected from him and was unhappy in their relationship for a long time, which you and I have both said we really like this detail, especially the context of the movie is about the breakup.
And the movie does really kind of at first set you up to see Sarah as a total villain.
Yeah.
So I really liked that we actually get some insight into why she left him and that it wasn't this like abrupt thing that Peter saw it as. She's like, no, you once spent an entire week in the same sweatpants. Like, you don't leave your house. Like, I tried to get you out. I tried to get you to do things and to go out and like live life with me and be a better partner for me. Like, I went to therapy and like I tried all of these different things and I could not get you to show up for me ever.
Yeah, she's like near tears, like telling him this. And I think it would have been very disappointing to have her just be this like bitchy backstabbing girlfriend. And so the fact that she is actually given this really great moment of humanity and then also seeing Jason Segel be like, oh, in my head it was like, I'm so blindsided by this breakup and then you were cheating on me. And so just with our episode being about breakups, I think that this is a really great moment to include.
Agreed. So one evening, Peter and Rachel, who are now like kind of seeing each other, they get roped into having dinner with Sarah and Aldous. This is the scene I discussed before that I'm like, I wish it was longer.
It was great.
This scene was gold.
Yeah. It also included Jonah Hill, who is my favorite part of this movie. He has the best lines and the best scenes by far. No matter what part he's in, he's always the best part.
No, like when you see him in a scene, you get excited.
Yeah.
After the dinner, Peter takes Rachel back to his room and they start to like hook up. Sarah hears them through the wall because their rooms are like right next to each other.
Yeah.
And she tries to compete with them by initiating loud sex with Aldous, which is, I mean, kind of like toe curlingly awkward, but funny.
Yeah, it's usually like sex humor and toilet humor aren't my vibe, but it was funny seeing her try so hard when Aldous is literally just like laying there and is like, what the fuck is going on?
She starts hitting the wall going, this is the best sex ever.
Yeah.
And Aldous is like kind of put off by this. He's like, okay, so clearly you're not over this guy. Like, clearly this is like a thing with this guy that you're trying to prove something. And like, I don't really want to be a part of that, honestly, which shows a lot of maturity. For this kind of
valid.
Yeah. And he's just kind of been like a silly character. And I actually liked that they gave him this scene where he's like, actually, I like, this is all too messy for me.
Right. He was like, not cool. I'm not like for you to be used to make your ex-boyfriend jealous.
Mm-hmm. And they get into a bit of an argument, which leads Aldous to end their relationship, which kind of sends Sarah into a spiral.
Right. So the next day, Peter learns that Aldous has broken up with Sarah and he is going back to England. Peter goes to Sarah's room to try to console her, and Sarah admits she's still in love with him and wants to reconcile their relationship. They begin to hook up, but Peter abruptly ends it because he is kind of seeing Rachel and has feelings for her. Afterwards, Peter confesses this to Rachel, who is very clearly hurt, and demands that he leaves and never talks to her again. I would be mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of upset, but then also it's like, does she really have a leg to stand on? Like, how long has she known this guy?
Yeah, but
like, they just met.
I
And
guess
this is his ex of 5 years.
Well, I guess they do, in fairness to the movie, they do say that Mila Kunis's ex-boyfriend did cheat on her. So like trying to give her a little bit more character than the movie allows.
I think that's the only sort of shading that she gets.
So I'm trying to give her character a little bit more. Like maybe that is the reason why she's more jaded about it.
When she was like so upset about it, I was a little like, okay, like how
right. He has been at this resort for a week, maybe.
Barely.
Yeah.
If even a week.
And also they were together for like
met.
5 years, him and Sarah Marshall.
And this is his like longtime girlfriend who he just broke up with.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I was just like, I feel like we're overestimating our importance in this guy's life a little bit here. But c'est la vie. So Peter flies back to Los Angeles, and after a period of depression, still kind of processing him and Sarah's breakup, and then also the fact that Rachel like doesn't like him anymore, he begins seriously working on his Dracula puppet opera and manages to get it staged. He invites Rachel to the opening night. He sends her like a little ticket flyer in the mail. It's very cute. And although she's kind of hesitant at first, she does decide to attend. And then after a successful opening night, she congratulates Peter and tells him that she's thinking about staying in the area and maybe going back to school. And she's American. I know Hawaii's in America, but she's not Hawaiian.
Yes.
She's from the States.
Yeah.
And she had gone there kind of with a guy, and she left school and decided to stay in Hawaii. So she's saying, maybe I might come back and go to school here. She leaves so that Peter can kind of bask in the success of his show. But once he goes back to the dressing room, she comes back to the dressing room because she couldn't stay away.
Yeah.
And she tells him that she misses him, and then they kiss, and then that's the ending. And yeah, I really wish I liked like that I cared about her more.
Right. I said to you, I was like, when they got together at the end, like I really just didn't find myself caring at all.
No.
Which is disappointing because
if it ended with him putting on Dracula puppet opera and it was great, I would have found that satisfying.
Or even her coming to the show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. Just him seeing her in the audience, and then that's just kind of how the movie ends, like a bit more ambiguous about what their ending will be.
But she's so nothing of a character that I got no catharsis from them getting back together.
And again, like she's so nothing of a character, and also like to me their relationship really had no weight to it. Like they met and they were immediately like Mila Kunis, because she kind of has no character, is immediately like interested in him without him really like showing reason to be interested in him. And then they're together all of a sudden, and then they're like super lovey-dovey. Like I think one of my notes is literally like, when the hell did they get so close?
Yeah.
So
when she's like feeding him at dinner, it's like
that was the exact scene.
You guys just met. Like
I was like, have you even slept together yet? Like
they hadn't
very
at that point.
Intimate. So yeah, the romance I was not a big fan of. I did find this movie funny. Sometimes the humor was a little bit not my taste, but sometimes I was really cracking up. Again, Jonah Hill was my favorite of the movie, but there's a lot of great people.
But he is a scene stealer.
No, like he is easily the best in my mind, but like Russell Brand is amazing.
No, anytime it was like Jonah Hill or Russell Brand was in a scene, you kind of knew it was probably going to be a good scene.
Yeah.
It's when it focused more on like Jason Segel and Mila Kunis, that's where my interest waned.
Well, yeah, I was going to say too, like Paul Rudd is in the movie, Kristen Wiig is in the movie. They have some great moments. So again, like I said, I find the people around our main character more interesting, which isn't always my favorite type of movie. I wrote, it was funny. I gave it a solid 5 out of 10. Like, don't know if I'd willingly go back to it anytime soon, but if someone put it on, I'd be like, yeah, I'll watch it.
I gave it a 6. I enjoy it. I think it's like kind of harmless, and I would,
Oh yeah, very harmless.
it's like super harmless. I think it's more good than bad.
And I will say, like we said, I enjoy them. Although Rachel's character is so nothing, I do enjoy that.
And she really did start to get on my nerves after a point. Like, she was just too perfect.
Right. Well, I was going to say, I do enjoy that the movie didn't go the cliche route with having Sarah Marshall be this super evil ex-girlfriend or Russell Brand being this like super douchey guy. Like, he is douchey, but in a almost likable way.
No, that's the thing. And kind of, it's so clear that the role was written for him because he's kind of the only person that could pull off this role.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was good. And in the context of our episode, I thought I was pleasantly surprised by the way that they portrayed the breakup.
Me too. This is another one where we see a man just like really wallowing in a breakup. Similar to Eternal Sunshine. You know, we've talked about that. I strongly believe that men handle breakups worse than women. Most girls I know who like have been, let's say like they got dumped, they're really, really sad about it and will cry their eyes out for like 2 weeks. And then it's like, all right, time to get back to life, like time to get back on the horse and like put this behind me.
Men have a
man can wallow in a breakup for years. Like, a bad breakup can make a man like fully go into a depression, like a years-long depression.
Any male listeners, please let us
confirm
know.
or deny.
Yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on this because
I don't know if that's a stereotype or not. It's literally just from my own observation.
I think it's the opposite. I think oftentimes in media, women are portrayed to have like kind of this chip on their shoulder from a breakup, or never be able to get over it, or be overly emotional or sensitive. Whereas I feel like what
you've clearly
society portrays men is like kind of having this like rebound playboy lifestyle afterwards,
which is insane because then you've clearly never seen like a heartbroken man.
Or like, you've never seen the 3 movies that we're watching because they all portray exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's I think that men, and again, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's just the men that I know, I think that they feel heartbreak more deeply than women do. Where like women will have the initial crash out and then kind of get their shit together. Men like just don't. Like it like and I don't mean any sort of breakup, like true heartbreak.
Right.
Like real actual heartbreak. Men cannot freaking handle it. I mean, I've just seen it so many times. And I'm sure there are some guys out there that handle heartbreak extremely well and are like able to detach and put it behind them.
Right, but this is what you notice with the women that you know and the men that you know.
Yes, that they handle breakups completely differently and that it stays with a guy for longer. Like years after a breakup, a guy can be like still not over his ex. And I don't know any girls that are like that. I
actually don't think I do either.
And I know you know guys that years later still aren't over their ex. Like I know you know them.
I do actually. Now that you say it, I'm like, yeah.
I don't know. That's just a me thing. Also, all of these films, I mean, Marriage Story, which we're about to talk about, does give both perspectives, which it's kind of the only movie out of the 3 that we truly get to see both.
Right. We're in the
sides.
Yeah, we're in the heads of both characters.
Mm-hmm. But for the most part, these movies kind of do focus on men dealing with breakups. And it made me wonder, do you know any movies about a woman dealing with a breakup and that's like a major part of the film?
I want to say yes, but now my mind is like blanking. I mean,
because I was trying to think of some before we started filming, and I was kind of like, oh, like it's a shame we didn't get like diversify our perspectives a little more.
Yeah,
just like in our recaps of the 3 films, and then it took me a second to be like, I actually don't really know any movies.
now I'm curious to look some up.
Yeah,
maybe I'll do that after this episode, and we can like include it in next week before we start talking about whatever we're going to talk about. But Yeah, I can't name one off the top of my head, but I know there's probably some out there.
So our final film is Marriage Story, which came out in 2019. It's a drama written and directed by Noah Baumbach. It premiered at the 2019 Venice Film Festival and was distributed by Netflix. It received a limited theatrical release in November 2019 before launching on Netflix in December 2019. So it literally was only in theaters that it could get approved to be nominated for the Academy Awards, because you have to have a certain length of a theatrical run to qualify for the Academy Awards.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I think it's you have to have a 6-week run in theaters to qualify to be eligible.
Interesting. This is easily our favorite of the lineup.
Easily.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic film.
Yeah, I had seen it like in 2019 when it came out.
Me
and I don't think
too.
I've watched it since. And I was so pleasantly surprised because I don't know, maybe I just wasn't really in the mood to watch it, but I remember liking it in 2019, but not as much as I really, really enjoyed watching this movie.
Oh, I'm happy because this is definitely a favorite of mine.
So good.
I've seen it quite a few times. Loved it when it came out.
You watch it for the performances.
It's a screenplay forward film.
Yes, 100%. And I always love a movie like that where like, you know, it might not have the most amazing cinematography and, you know, the most wild plot or absurd whatever, but I just love great acting and a great script.
Yeah, this is brilliantly written and brilliantly acted. Could not imagine any other actors in these roles. They really made them their own in a very special way. This film is also kind of the major reason I am such a stan of Adam Driver.
This movie really shows why he deserves to be an A-list celebrity.
Yes.
Yeah, he is pure. He's almost magnetic. Both of them are, really.
Both of them are.
But it's, I mean, I had such a hard time.
No, they're both like powerhouses, honestly, in this film.
And it's funny because even the side characters, I love the casting in all of the roles.
I mean, Laura Dern won an Oscar for this role. Well deserved.
I have my own opinion on that.
Really? I thought she was great.
I thought she was great too. I really love her character. Like, I just love that character. And I think Laura Dern is amazing. I think out of everybody in the movie, like, I think her being the only Oscar that it went to is like
Agreed.
a disservice. Like, I think it should have gone to ScarJo or Adam Driver over her.
I remember that year rooting for both of them to win in their respective categories.
Yeah, but even like Alan Alda and Ray Liotta
Mm-hmm.
and the mom and the sister and just like even the guy from Princess Bride, what's his name? The little guy who's in the theater company.
Oh my God, of course I'm forgetting his name, but he plays a very small role
yes,
in
but
this
like
film.
everyone is so perfect in their respective roles.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are just so hypnotizing. It is such a treat to watch like two actors just like do their thing. And the cinematography is all like long takes, stationary cameras, like very few shots.
I loved it. I thought it was the perfect choice for this.
It's perfect. So let's just get in it.
All right. So when the film begins, Charlie and Nicole, who, as we said, are played respectively by Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, have already decided that they're going to get a divorce. Charlie is a theater director, and his company is currently producing a play that stars Nicole. And we kind of also learn that a lot of his plays that he's directed have starred Nicole, that they really have kind of a creative partnership.
Yes.
The couple lives in New York City, and they have a young son named Henry, who's about 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, I think he's 8.
Yeah, and he's played by Azzy Robertson.
That kid is perfect casting because he looks so much like both of them. It's scary.
He does.
You don't like his performance?
No. I mean, it's a kid actor. It's just a kid actor thing.
Listen, I actually give the kid the benefit of the doubt. This is the one thing in the script I don't like. I think they write him too young, but he looks so much like the two of them.
He really does.
It literally looks like their child.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. And I do just have to throw in, I love the opening of this film.
Yes, I do too.
So the film opens with 2 montages over which Charlie lists all the things that he loves about Nicole, and then Nicole lists all the things that she loves about Charlie, and we get these snapshots of their life as a married couple. And also the little details that you notice about someone when you either love them or live with them or know someone really well. And it is just such an incredible setup. And then it's also great when then it cuts to, oh, they're in a counseling session and they were made to write these letters to each other about all the things that they love about each other because this is a divorce counseling session. So the way that the rug is ripped out from under you is also great. I don't know. It works in an exposition sense, and then it also works really well in a storytelling sense.
Yeah, I was just going to say it tells us everything we need to know about the two of them, their backgrounds, who they are as people, who they are to each other, and then it's a perfect way to introduce what the actual plot of the movie is. They're getting a divorce. That's what the story's about. So Nicole, who is a working actress, is offered a role in a television pilot that films in Los Angeles, and she decides to leave the theater company and temporarily moves in with her mother, Sandra, who's played by Julie Haggerty, who I love in this movie.
She's fantastic.
She is so great. In West Hollywood. So she's actually from Los Angeles, and then when she met Adam Driver's character, she moved to New York. So now she's kind of returning home. She takes Henry with her. Charlie remains in New York as his play is actually in the process of moving to Broadway. Though they had agreed to divorce without lawyers, Nicole hires a very high-profile attorney named Nora Fanshawe, who is played by Laura Dern, on the advice of one of her new coworkers.
Nicole meets with Nora and tells her the full story of her relationship with Charlie and how she gradually started to feel neglected by him. And she also reveals her suspicion that Charlie slept with the stage manager of their theater company, Marianne, which we find out pretty quickly, if not it was kind of even hinted already that he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we were talking about earlier, this scene is probably one of, if not the strongest scenes in the film.
This might be one of my favorite examples of amazing acting ever. Like
it's
this
like
is
a masterclass of acting.
It is this 6-minute long one take of Scarlett Johansson moving around this office, just breaking down the entire context of her relationship with Charlie and their divorce, and the way that she just realizes so much stuff in the moment is so insane. Like, I've never seen, I wouldn't say I've never seen, but it's just such a incredible piece of acting. Like, if you are an actor, I highly recommend this movie, but I specifically recommend this scene because her sitting on the couch and going from happy, memories and recalling all these great times to sadness and then to anger and resentment and then to, kind of this defeated, it is so good. And Laura Dern the whole time is just so locked in.
She's so slimy.
I love her kicking off her shoes and
she
sitting
just gets
barefoot
real with her clients.
Yeah, she's so fake.
She's so fake. She's so slimy. She's kind of a perfect lawyer character.
Absolutely.
You just right off the bat do not like this woman. But at the same time, which is why it's such a good performance, you can understand why Nicole is taken in by her.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, absolutely love this scene. And you're right. It is truly just kind of an acting masterclass. This is, in my opinion, Scarlett Johansson's best performance, at least that I've ever seen her give.
Yeah, I think this is her best performance. I was saying to you, I was like, I feel bad because I think in recent years, she's kind of just been labeled as Black Widow ever since, originating that role in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now people are she's just so slept on.
Yeah.
I think I was really happy she did this movie because I think it's just an example of how strong of an actress she is.
Agreed. I will say, before watching this film, I really didn't know that she was this talented. I had no idea. This film really kind of made me reconsider her as an actress, and I'm happy that she got this role because clearly she deserved it.
Yeah.
She is amazing in this film.
Oh, yeah. So after Charlie wins a MacArthur Fellowship, he visits Nicole and Henry in LA, and Nicole then serves him divorce papers. This is just an incredible scene. It's super funny and awkward.
I loved this. And
yeah.
Merritt Weaver, who plays Nicole's sister, is great in this
She's
scene
so
too.
funny.
So funny.
He being Charlie consults with a brash, pricey lawyer named Jay Murata, who's played by Ray Liotta. But Charlie returns to New York without retaining him because he is like, no, we agreed to do this without lawyers.
And Ray Liotta is so expensive.
Yeah. And also like he's in the middle of like doing this play on Broadway. So he's like kind of just all over the place,
Yeah,
Charlie.
he's flying back and forth.
Yeah.
It's very stressful for him.
When he is warned that he could possibly lose custody of Henry without counsel, Charlie then goes back to LA and hires Bert Spitz, who's played by Alan Alda, who I fucking love in this role.
So good. He's like,
he's like the opposite of Ray Liotta's character. He's this like
just like, you know what? This should be easy. Like, we'll just hope to settle for something great. Like, blah blah blah. And he's like, I decided to become a divorce lawyer because I went through 4 divorces, and I think that we need to retain some humanity in this.
I love him making his lunch as he's like talking to him. Like the office is like so dingy and like crappy.
And of course, Adam Driver, who is so happy that someone is like treating him like a person.
Yeah.
Is thrilled with this guy. And right away as viewers, we know that this is not the guy who can stand up to Laura Dern in the courtroom.
No, I mean, Laura Dern is going for blood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So on Halloween, which I love this whole Halloween sequence.
Oh, it hurts to watch.
It's
perfect,
fantastic.
Though. Yeah.
Charlie decides to spend Halloween in LA because his son is in LA. And Henry, who is his son, tells Charlie that Nicole has kind of decided that they're going to stay in LA for the foreseeable future, which Charlie was unaware of.
Yeah.
When Charlie calls Nicole, obviously really angry that this decision has been made seemingly without consulting him, Nicole reveals that she hacked into his emails and found proof of his affair with Marianne, who's the person who worked in his theater company.
She's like his stage manager or something.
Stage manager, yeah.
Yeah, this whole scene is so great. I first of all love the like realistic divorced dad where they like go out for Halloween and like the kid's already been out, but he's tired. He just wants to like stay in.
Like,
but
Nicole already took him trick-or-treating with like his cousins.
Yes. And then like, but because Adam Driver is like so stressed and kind of like bitter, he's like, no, we're going out because it's my time with you. And then like they get like 5 pieces of candy.
And the kid is so tired. Like he just wants to go home.
Yeah. And it's like, just take the kid home. Like, it doesn't matter.
It's such a, I don't know, very melancholy sequence that I found really effective.
Yeah. And again, it like proves the selfishness of like this whole divorce, but it also
how it's not really ever about the kid.
Yeah.
It's about you guys, but you're pretending like it's about the kid.
Yes. Bert urges Charlie to rent an LA apartment to bolster his custody case. At a settlement meeting, Nora argues that Charlie refused to move to LA while he was married to Nicole and that Henry should stay with his mother rather than bounce between New York and LA. Bert advises conceding, but Charlie refuses and then fires him.
Which, that's what this film does so well, is you completely understand both of their perspectives.
Yes, I was saying to you earlier, I was like, they're both being very selfish in a way, but also you kind of can both you at least feel empathy for both of them and their respective situations. Like, but also at the same time, like, and Alan Alda's character says it very well, where he's like, well, here's what's best for Henry. Yeah. Here's what's best for your child. And Adam Driver kind of doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And neither does Scarlett Johansson. And it, it works very favorably for Scarlett Johansson's character because Henry likes LA and he wants to stay there. Whereas like if he wanted to go back to New York, it would be Scarlett Johansson who's panicking and very flustered like Adam Driver is.
Exactly. And you understand Charlie, or the Adam Driver's character's perspective, because they were a New York family. And he keeps insisting that. And it's true. He's like, that was where our lives were. And sure, now I'm finding out that you were unhappy there and that you always wanted to come back to LA. But like, you can't make the argument that we're an LA family and that I'm trying to like drag Henry back to New York, because that was where we raised him together.
Well, especially Charlie, who you learn has like no relationship with his family, went from Indiana to New York and really just like became a New Yorker because like he has no life in Indiana. Whereas like you can understand Scarlett Johansson, who lived her whole life in LA, started her career in LA, and then moved to New York to be with her husband. Yeah.
And then he seemingly, every time she brought up moving back to LA, completely dismissed her.
Right. So you can understand both sides, but you're also like, you guys are also just like fighting for what you want.
Mm-hmm. So Charlie uses his fellowship money, so the money that he received in his grant that was kind of supposed to go back into his theater company, but now
and also maybe his son's education.
True. He uses that money to hire Jay, the Ray Liotta lawyer character, who's just a bulldog. And the divorce ends up going to court. Nora and Jay both launch aggressive character attacks. Nora emphasizes Charlie's emotional distance and his infidelity. And then Jay exaggerates Nicole's drinking based on what we can assume was one brief aside made by Charlie, that like one time they were walking down the stairs and Nicole tripped and she was like earlier with their son.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, I must have had too much wine. Like joking.
Literally joking. Not a big deal at all. But that is reframed in court as her being a neglectful mother and potentially an alcoholic, just showing kind of how these lawyers can twist these small moments into something you can argue against.
And their faces when their lawyers are speaking for them is so painful,
because you see so clearly that neither of them thinks this way about the other person.
And they also feel so hurt and betrayed. Like, how can you let them say that about me? But they're doing it to each other.
Exactly. No, it's brilliant. And Jay also threatens legal consequences over the email hacking, which is really just, she like guessed his password.
Right. Or maybe he was logged into her computer.
Yeah.
They're married. Yeah. So hoping to escape the lawyers, they meet privately, but the conversation goes very south very quickly.
This is
like the most famous scene in the movie.
Okay, before we even get into it, I just want to say this is like the big blowout fight scene. I know it's memed a lot. I know Adam Driver's face in that one shot is memed a lot.
This movie in general is memed a lot. I love the meme where she's dancing in the beginning.
Yes.
That's like it's like Girl Who's Gonna Be Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a very memed scene.
Which I kind of low-key resent it, because this is a fantastic scene.
No, I think you can have your cake and eat it too. Like, I enjoy the memes in this, but also like you have to.
Listen, I enjoy some of the memes, but I'm like, I feel like this is giving people the wrong idea about this film.
Yeah,
and I think that more people should see this film.
Yeah, I think this scene is absolutely
like, yeah, if you see the final 5 minutes, like the final like 2 minutes of it out of context, it does seem overacted and dramatic and crazy, but that's because this is like a 7-minute long scene that builds and builds and builds until they both explode.
And it's so well done. Like the way that they start and they're so like civil at first, and then they're like, well, and you can see the irritation.
Yes.
Where they're like, well, I said I didn't want to do lawyers in the first place, and now here we are. And then, like, it's so good. And then it just flows into this huge argument. Nicole accuses Charlie of being selfish, and he confesses that he wishes she would die, but immediately breaks down because he doesn't wish that.
He says something absolutely horrible, like human beings do sometimes.
Yeah.
You say something in the heat of the moment that you don't mean, and he immediately he
like, just starts sobbing.
Yeah.
And again, it's just a really incredible performance. Soon after, they reach a settlement and finalize the divorce, though Nora secures slightly better terms for Nicole behind her back, which Nicole is kind of like, why would you do that?
Yeah, it's just kind of another thing to show how the process of divorce can really make you hate the other person.
But also Nicole like doesn't tell her to undo it. Like she's kind of like, well, it does favor her. Yeah. So it's another great example of like the selfishness that they have.
The next Halloween, so this is now a year since the previous Halloween, which is kind of the midpoint of the film.
Yeah, this whole movie takes place over what you can assume is
like
the span of like, I was going to say like 2 years maybe. Yeah.
The next Halloween, Charlie returns to LA and he learns that Nicole has a new boyfriend. He tells her that he's taken a residency at UCLA, so he'll be staying in LA for a while. We obviously can assume that this is because his son now lives in LA and he wants to see him more. As they get ready to go trick or treat, Charlie finds Henry reading Nicole's letter that she wrote for the counselor at the very beginning of the film that lists all of the reasons why she loves Charlie.
Which he had never heard. She never read it out loud to him. Yeah.
Henry asks him to finish it aloud, and Charlie gets emotional as he listens. This scene is just...
It makes me cry every time.
Oh, yeah. No, same.
Yeah.
This movie never makes me bawl, but every single time I get teary-eyed. I don't know if tears fell this past time, but I
get a little choked up.
Me too. Afterward, Nicole lets Charlie take Henry home, even though it is technically her night. So this is her kind of conceding maybe the extra little time that she got with Henry because of what Nora arranged for her.
Right.
And as Charlie walks to his car carrying Henry, Nicole stops Charlie and ties his shoe for him. He thanks her and they part. And this is just a beautiful moment of connection between them. The connection in a way where it's like, these are two people who know each other inside and out, but have decided they're not going to spend their lives together, but there's still that knowing, and there's still that maybe a little bit of care.
Yeah, I said to you, when Charlie's reading the letter, he has this great, well, Nicole writes it, but he has this great part where he's like, I love Charlie the moment I saw him, and I'll always love him even when it doesn't make sense to love him anymore, which is like so beautiful and so, again, melancholy.
Yeah.
But I love the ending, and it always makes me a little emotional because, one, they're bound together forever by Henry, but also just the way that, and the movie does this throughout the entire film, where they show how well Charlie and Nicole know each other.
Yeah.
Like, I love the scene where they're at the divorce hearing and Charlie's like ordering lunch and he's like, I don't really know what to get. And she orders food for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the ending's really beautiful in the way that it shows that, yeah, they're not together anymore and they decided to split up, but they have this love for each other and this understanding of each other that really they won't get again in this lifetime. And I think that's a very beautiful thing. And I think that kind of adds to my determinism kind of mindset where, yes, people maybe aren't bound to be together forever, but there is a person out there who will know you and who will understand you.
Yeah.
And I find that very beautiful.
Agreed. And I find this film very beautiful. It is a complete condemnation of the entire judicial system around divorce.
Oh, yeah.
And just kind of how these things go. And I mean, Noah Baumbach did write this kind of fresh out of his divorce. So one can assume that there's probably a lot of truth in how these proceedings go. I don't know. I've never been divorced, but I can assume.
Oh, yeah. Especially like in two major cities like LA and New York. I'm sure that's exactly how it goes down.
Yeah. And just kind of how rigged that system is a lot of times against, the system is made to favor mothers, which understandably, but
when children are involved, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also kind of how it is kind of almost rigged against involved fathers or like fathers that want to be a part of their kid's life.
Yeah, I do. I said earlier to you how I was like, Charlie's kind of a dick in his like selfishness with New York, but also he is like, I do want to see my child, but like I can't give up my entire livelihood and just start anew in this new state. I don't know. It's such a complex thing because I'm obviously not a parent, but when you become a parent, in my opinion, your life is about your kid.
Yeah.
Like no matter what. So in a way, I obviously kind of not root for Nicole, but it's very easy to find Charlie to be very selfish in the way that he wants to stay in New York. But also, like I said, if the tables were turned and Henry wanted to live in New York with his dad, Nicole would be the one scrambling because she has the work out in LA.
True. But also just like the way that the courts work out, they typically favor the mother.
Exactly. But I'm
like
saying
that just is the thing.
Nicole would be the selfish character in this situation as opposed to Charlie.
No, 100%. And one could argue that her just bringing the kid to LA and seemingly with no knowledge of how the divorce process works is just like, okay, and I'll file for divorce here. Like,
right.
That really affects how the case is seen in court. Flip-flop throughout the whole movie about...
And I think that's the point.
Exactly. About who's in the right and who's in the wrong until kind of the end. Like the characters, you come to the catharsis that both of them were right and wrong. Mm-hmm. I love this film. I think it's a brilliant screenplay. It's some of my favorite acting performances I've ever seen. Truly ever.
It really is an actor's movie.
Yeah.
Like on top of everything.
Oh my God. There's so many just like incredible monologues, incredible scenes. You really stay with the characters for so long. You come away like, I feel like I know Charlie and Nicole.
Yes.
As separate people from Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. Like I know these people.
Oh yeah.
And it's so rare that you come away from a film feeling so intimate with its characters.
Yeah. The only small criticism I have is this movie does feel a bit long. Like
I disagree.
That's just me.
I did not feel the length personally.
I feel the length a little bit after that big blowout fight.
Okay, fair enough.
It's one of those things where you kind of feel like maybe that's getting closer to the end, and then there's like I'm
there are a few more
not saying
sequences,
that
yeah.
there's scenes that they need to cut because I feel like every scene is very well done, but it is one of those things where I was like, oh, that kind of feels like it could be towards the end, and then there's like a good like 8 more scenes, and you're like, oh.
Fair enough.
But
fair enough.
I really enjoy this movie. I think it's so steady. I think it's so well acted, so well written.
I like how it's a different perspective on the breakup movie. This is not it's not about how they deal with the breakup. By the time we meet them, they've kind of already processed the heartbreak. I just thought that was a really interesting perspective to take for this kind of film. Like, I like that it wasn't about the dissolution of their relationship. Their relationship has dissoluted by the time we meet them.
Yeah.
It's about literally the process of separation, which is a lot more interesting and rife for drama than you think it will be initially.
Well, something I also love about this movie, and you pointed it out, is the other 2 movies end with a new relationship beginning or a relationship re-sparking.
Yes.
Whereas this movie just kind of lets it live in the breakup.
Yeah.
Like that is the end of the movie. They're not going to get back together. And I think it would have
But
been
the
so
catharsis-
Hollywood if they did get back together.
Agreed. The catharsis is them both accepting each other as people with the realization, okay, you're not the person I'm going to spend my life with, but we can still be partners in this one way, being parents to our son.
Yeah. Just a really excellent movie in my mind. I was so pleasantly surprised watching it again, and I definitely am going to put it like higher on my list of movies. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
It's a 9 out of 10 for me. I love this film. I love this film.
Well, that was our Valentine's Day episode.
Oh, so romantic.
I know, to all you lovers out there. I thought it was a pretty good week.
Decent lineup.
Yeah.
Solid lineup. Not as great nor as poor as some of our previous weeks.
Next Valentine's Day, we have to do more like traditionally lovey-dovey movies.
We'll do some romance next Valentine's Day. You can finally get me to watch a fucking romance movie.
Also, if you guys are, like we said earlier, if you guys know female-centered breakup movies, please list them. I tried to look some up. We took a little break between filming. Please let us know, because I could not find a single one.
I can see an argument for Legally Blonde as a breakup movie.
Yes, that one is the only one I could see an argument for.
But even so, it's like the breakup is the impetus for her self-discovery.
Yes, a lot of movies, the breakup is just a catalyst for the plot beginning. So please, any movies kind of like Forgetting Sarah Marshall or 500 Days of Summer, where it's like the breakup is the movie.
Yeah.
And it's female-centered, because I could not find a single one.
I would be very interested in any that are like kind of about the female experience of the breakup, just because we are kind of at a loss right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you know one, please comment below. We would be interested in watching it. And next week
we're trying something new.
We are starting a potential, depending on the response, new series called it's tentatively titled, I think I texted you, and that's the extent of, I like to think of it as, we'll call it TV time. Maybe we won't.
Cute.
Maybe we won't, but maybe we will. Where we talk about a season of television. And next episode, we're thinking of maybe doing Heated Rivalry.
We have both watced it. We have tried our best to say nothing.
We're trying
to
each other.
We're trying to keep it as raw as possible. Pun intended. If you guys are interested in this new format that we're doing. This is kind of like an extra special episode kind of
Yeah,
thing.
just
something.
starting up something a little new.
Yeah, we like to
switching
switch
things
it up. Yeah. And with Heated Rivalry being so popular, and we both just watched it.
Wait, I have an idea for TV time also for potential future episodes that I wanted to run past you. So why not do it on the podcast?
Okay.
Maybe revisiting Euphoria seasons 1 and 2 ahead of season 3.
Now listen, you and I both have such hot takes on Euphoria.
I think that's the thing. I'm like, I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
And I have feelings about Euphoria that have been sitting and stirring within me for years.
Oh, yeah.
That I would
Same.
really love to share.
Listen, I'm down if you are. I guess we'll have to see how Heated Rivalry goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is next week's episode. And yeah, I'm really excited.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we hope you join us back again next week for something a lot more sexy than this week's episode.
Yeah, something a lot more romantic.
True. I am Olivia.
I'm Maggie.
Thanks for watching, and good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.